Hi there, so this video is about the opportunity threat matrix, and the purpose of that is to help you to really uncover for yourself and your team what the needs are that are driving your change. And quite often when we think about changes that we need to make happen in organisations, we focus too much on the solution and we don't spend enough time talking to people about what are the opportunities that are going to be missed if we don't change, and what are the threats that are coming, that are looming, that will damage us if we don't change. So quite often in leadership teams, that conversation's been happening quite a lot internally for some time, and some consensus is built up and people think it's really obvious. But once we come to talking to other people, it might be that we've missed out that really crucial chapter. Even if I know why we're creating change in our organisation, quite often the rest of our management team or the wider organisation might not be as clear as I am. So the opportunity threat matrix, this tool that I'm talking about today, is a way of surfacing all of that and in a really practical way getting everyone involved in articulating the need for change. So the opportunity threat matrix is really easy, and you'll see that in the pack you'll see that there's some instructions and also a blank template. If you want to do one really large, you can have it printed on at A1 size, which is flip chart size, or even if you go to a professional printer and ask them to do it on a plotter, you can have an A0 size, which is 3 times that size. Or you can just draw on a flip chart piece of paper, just draw the grid. So when you're running the session, whether it's on your own or with others, the first thing that you're focusing on is, what is this change that I'm talking about? So you need to be clear about a change before you can do an opportunity threat matrix around it. Once you're clear what the change is, write that on the flip chart or across the top of your sheet of paper, and then you're asking 4 questions. The first is, what are the opportunities in the short term if we change? What are the opportunities in the short term if we change? So that might be anything from 0 to 6 months, or if it's a really big change, you might be talking short term, 0 to 12 months, but I'd say 0 to 6 months is a good guideline. And in that situation, you're either post-it noting or writing or flip charting, depending on whether it's a small or large group, exactly what those changes are, and be as specific as you can in each of those. And then you might move on to what are the short-term threats if we don't change, what are the short-term threats if we don't change, or you could go into the long-term with opportunities and move into what are the long-term opportunities if we do. You need to go through those 4 quadrants, asking each question meticulously, encouraging people to be thorough in their answers. And then once you've done that, there's a case that's made. You've made the case for change. We're not trying in that conversation to kind of worry about how we might talk about it to other people. Let's just get the truth down on a piece of paper. Think later about how we articulate it, which of those we do or don't share with others. At the moment, it's about being really clear about what that change is. So the threat and opportunity matrix, I think it works really well for an individual to just really understand why I need to make change happen right now, why I'm making it happen in my organisation. It also works really well for leadership teams and whole organisation teams to ask that question. Let's use an OT matrix to try and see whether change is necessary. And if you find that you haven't got a compelling case for change at the end of the exercise, then that's really interesting in itself and probably means you should be prioritising in some other area. If you want to know more about the threat and opportunity matrix, then give me a shout for sure, r.watts@peoplemakeitwork.com, or you could get in touch with Laura at Change Creation, and let us know how you get on. So if you use the opportunity threat matrix and you're part of Change Creation, then would you upload the outcomes of that matrix to your blog, and then if you're happy to share it in the Slack group, you know that that's confidential within Change Creation. If you're outside of Change Creation group and you're using this tool, then get in touch with People Make It Work and tell us what you got out of the exercise, or whether you've got some alternatives that you'd like to suggest as well. That's it for now. If you want to find out about other tools, then click on other links to find out about how to operate those as well. Thanks very much. Cheers.